Okay, and welcome today to Bella Vista and Beyond. I'm Damon Wallace, here with my co-host Mike Cleary.
Right.
So how are you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing just great. Did you know if the groundhog said we were going to have 6 more weeks of rain or something? What is that?
Well, actually, it was supposed to be spring is right around the corner. And so, and I guess all the rain that we're getting goes in with that. but we did have some snow here just yesterday.
Yes, we had a little bit of snow already.
Just kind of covered the ground a little bit, but it melted off pretty quickly. So, so how's your week been?
It's been quiet, been very quiet. Haven't done much traveling, haven't done much things around the house. I guess I'm waiting for spring fever, for spring cleaning or something.
It won't be long. But in light of that, though, we have some interesting things going on around the community. And so tell us about one of those things coming up.
We have some Mardi Gras theme type activities coming up. We have on the 15th of February in Eureka Springs Mardi Gras Light and Sound Parade. Anything that you can put lights on. Cars, boats, trailers, people, dogs, anything is going to be in the parade on the 15th, and it starts at 6 p.m. in Eureka Springs. And if you're interested in perhaps being in the parade, go to the Facebook or webpage eurekaspringsmardigras.com.
Okay, and then tomorrow, Thursday, February 13th, from 4:30 to 6, A Taste of Italy. Okay, so what this is going to be is down at Village on the Park, and it's in Bentonville off of Rainbow Curve. They're going to have food, some cocktails, and also some entertainment. So if you're interested in some Italian fun, definitely head out to that. What else we got?
The following week, Saturday the 22nd, at the Bentonville Library, from 11 o'clock until noon, Saturday the 22nd, is called Ozarkan Folk, which is stories, songs, and tales about real Ozark people and stories with some original, one-of-a-kind Ozark instruments and a lot of handmade quilts as well. That's at the Bentonville Library on the 22nd from 11 to noon.
And if you're looking for something for this weekend, February 15th, Tenured Creek, they're going to have a hike. The Joplin Outdoors is actually hosting it. It starts from 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock. And if you want to be a part of that, go out there and just enjoy it. It should be some nice weather. It may be a little cool, but you're going to be out there exercising anyway. So, so go out and enjoy that. But all that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, lots of things going on next week or two.
Oh, so getting in, we got a couple of very unique hosts, or I'm sorry, guests. We're the host, aren't we?
Well, we are very unique hosts.
We are unique hosts.
We're one of a kind.
I tell you, that's what everybody keeps telling us. Don't know which way they exactly mean that, but but anyway. So my first guest today, if you listen to Christian music during the 90s, you have heard of this gentleman. This is Mr. Clay Cross. He is the winner of 4 Dove Awards, had 9 #1 hits on the Christian charts, and now is serving as a worship pastor over at Bentonville First Baptist Church. So Clay, good to have you with us today.
Damon, thanks for having me on the show.
And so I was a big Christian music fan during the 90s, so I remember when his first albums came out, and it was great. I mean, there was a lot of good music at the time, so you kind of came in at a period when there was just a lot of good going on in Christian music.
Well, thank you, and I was, to this day, I'll look back to those years and just thank the Lord that He opened those doors for me to be able to go into that, because anyone pursuing something like that realizes the odds are astronomically stacked against you. So it had to be something God wanted for my life to allow me to do it. So I'm thankful for those years.
Yeah. Now a lot of young people, they have that dream of being up on stage and performing for other people. Did you have those same kind of dreams?
Absolutely did. It was a dream of mine. You know, in my early teenage years, I started singing at church, and then for things at school, and I would enter contests, and then suddenly people are saying, "Hey, could you sing at our wedding?" Or I'd be asked to sing at a funeral or whatever. And it's just like people are asking me to sing more and more, and it was something that I really enjoyed, and I didn't know if I could do it full time. At the time I was working my day job at Federal Express. That's what paid the bills for me and Renee back in our early years of marriage. But I was wondering, man, can I go into music full time? And it sure happened in the early '90s when, like I say, God opened those doors.
Yeah, and then you have a lot of times there's like talent shows and then singing at church. Did you do any of those kind of things?
Actually, in Memphis, where I'm from originally, there was a pretty big youth talent competition that I entered 2 years in a row, called the Mid-South Fair Youth Talent Contest, and I did very well in those for 2 years in a row, and it really encouraged me to keep trying, because there were thousands of entrants in that, and I went really far in both of those. So.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of, you can have some excellent singers out there, excellent artists, and it's a matter of getting that break, isn't it?
It's a matter of the right person seeing you and taking interest and saying, I want to help develop this young person, into an artist.
So how old were you when you got that break?
It didn't happen in those years. When I was in those competitions, I was a teenager. But years later, I'd say when I was around 24 or 25 is when I really made the right connections in Nashville, and things began to take off.
Okay. And so how did it go about? So, like, coming into contact with the right people.
Right.
How did that happen for you? What happened? Who heard you, or how'd you get to be on a label?
The initial one was a man named Gary McSpadden. Now, Gary used to sing with the Bill Gaither Trio, and he came through Memphis doing a solo concert at Germantown Baptist Church. I saw an ad for it in the paper. Remember back when there were papers and there were ads? I saw an ad that he was going to be there, and I thought, what if I just go and after the concert hang around and try to meet him and casually put a demo tape in his hand that I had recorded? So I did all that, and he was very gracious, and as the story goes, he listened to that tape in his car on his drive home or to the hotel or whatever that night, and pulled over to the side of the road and called his son and son-in-law, who had just started a production company there in Nashville, and encouraged them to reach out to me because he really liked that demo tape. That was the moment, really, for me, of like, who discovered you? When did you make it? It would have been when Gary heard that tape, and his son and son-in-law began to manage me. They reached out to me, and they really became instrumental in my early success.
Well, good. And so, back in that time there, your career kind of started before YouTube and downloading was really even, they were even words.
Right.
we still bought CDs now.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the cassette era, but
I had some cassettes.
Yeah, I know you had
I
some.
don't date back to 8 tracks, but
No,
I definitely had cassettes and CDs.
That's it. So, how has that shifted, just the industry itself? How has YouTube and the downloading sites and things like that changed
Right.
it?
It's interesting. People are still as hungry for the music and want to hear the music, but they don't necessarily purchase physical CDs anymore like they used to in the numbers that they used to. So people are downloading songs, people are sharing songs, people are getting them one way or another, and it's changed the industry in a certain way. They used to buy a physical CD that had 10 songs on there, and now they just pretty much buy one. So that's affected some things, but people are still hungry for the music. If you
So
love
how
music,
did the
it's still
artists
there.
make their living today then?
It's different because back in the day when you were selling CDs more, that was a big part of your bread and butter, of how you made a living. Now it's more live. It's like ticket prices and trying to get people to come to your live events. And it was always the case with live events, but now it's the primary bread earner for artists out there.
Okay, and so I'll delve in a little bit to music sharing. So that is how artists a lot of times make their living. So if you hear a song that you like, definitely reach out to go ahead and spend a little bit of money and help support those artists so that they continue making the good music. And I know everybody's probably heard that before, but it definitely does make a difference. So Clay, tell me about your family.
Renee and I have been married for 29 years and have 4 children. 3 of them basically gone. Shelby, our oldest daughter, and she's married and off now, and Savannah is also married and lives in North Carolina, and our son Garrett is a sophomore at University of Kansas, doing great things there, so proud of him. So we just have one at home, little Sophie, our 9th grader. So we are becoming it's interesting. It went from a family of 6 to a family of 3 in just the space of a few years. It's so we're not empty nesters yet, but compared to the 6, it feels much smaller and manageable. We're overall, I'll just say about my family, I'm extremely thankful for what God's done and how they're doing.
And you and your wife have actually hosted marriage seminars together too.
We have. It's something that we're passionate about. You know, we've been married 29 years, and God has been gracious in our life, you know, all those 29 years, and walked with us through awesome times, through some challenging times. But today we will stand up and say, look what He's done, and we will encourage other couples to seek Him, keep Him center of their marriage.
And a lot of churches, going back to the music a little bit, they've kind of changed in how they're doing the worship songs compared to back in the day.
Right. I mean, things change over time. You know, but when I think of worship music, when I think of how that's changed in terms of, you know, back when I was recording and touring, we would do personal songs, kind of story songs, but not necessarily songs that then on Sundays churches would be singing. And now the top artists, their songs are a lot of the songs that are being sung in churches nationwide, along with the older songs. That's certainly what I try to do at First Baptist Bentonville. I try to, you know, I like a lot of the new music, but I have such a heart for some of the older songs as well, things out of the hymnal we're still going to do. So it's interesting how that has shifted over the years. But I applaud these young worship leaders. I really do. Their hearts are for the Lord and for leading others in worship. So I'm their biggest cheerleader.
Okay. Well, Clay, I'm sure glad that you found time to come meet with us today and be on our show. If you are interested, him and his wife still do the marriage conferences, or seminars, or whatever you want to call them. So if you're interested in having him come to you, we have his email on the screen, and you can get in touch with him and go over the specifics for your church or your group. So, Clay, good to have you with us today.
All right, Damon, thanks for having me on.
Okay. We have come up on a break. So, again.
That's right. It's a lot for people to absorb, so they have to take a moment to check out our public service announcements and absorb the information that we've already given this morning and prepare themselves for our next guest.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Bella Vista and Beyond. I'm Mike Cleary, and this is my co-host, Damon Wallace. And unfortunately, your guest, Clay, had to slip out early, and I should have got his autograph before he disappeared. You got his autograph for your daughter.
I did. He was
a celebrity.
He is. You know, back during the 90s, he changed, I won't say changed Christian music. It had already started changing. He was one of the cogs in that wheel. But yeah, he had a lot of #1 hits. So it's good that he's here in Northwest Arkansas now.
In Bella Vista now.
Well, yeah, he's actually lives just outside of Bella Vista on the Centerton side.
Well, that's great. Well, we can claim him as one of our celebrities.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
Awesome. Well, we have a celebrity as well in our midst. My guest this morning has been on stage with me for quite a bit, and she's the coordinator and director of a new theater group in Bella Vista. Please welcome my guest, Debbie Reynolds.
Thank you.
Debbie,
thank you.
We were just talking before about how long we've known each other. Our
my
first stage
goodness.
show together was more than 20 years ago.
Oh, that
You haven't
hurts.
changed a moment.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes, as long as somebody will stand behind me and hold all this up, I'm the same age. I'm the same.
So we're trying to get another theater group going
Yes,
in Bella Vista. It's
yes.
called Playwerks.
Playwerks,
So tell me about
with an E.
what
Playwerks.
created this Playwerks.
Playwerks. You know, we used to be the Village Players, and Village Players dissolved due to one thing and another. Mainly, we were losing members. We had people move away. We had people pass away, and we just kind of lost our focus, and we dissolved. And then some of us are still enamored with the idea of theater. And we've done 2 shows already, and Playwerks seems to be kind of a hit, but we would like to have a little more interest. Like, we don't have enough people that know about us at this stage. So what I'm here to do today is to tell you about Playwerks. We are trying to stay in Bella Vista. We have appeared doing Nonsense at St. Bernard's, and we did that in January last year. We did a murder mystery called Murder at the Banquet. Boy, was that fun. And we had a great time, had great participation, great audience. Bella Vista needs to do the plays and present fun and let's take our minds off of the stuff that's going on in the world today for just a couple of hours and just have fun. Now, I would like to say that when you join a cast, it takes a little bit of your time, but in return, you get to be on stage. You get to join a family, because that's what you become after you've done all of these hours rehearsing and all these hours performing. It is wonderful. And I know for a fact, case in point, we have so many people in Bella Vista that are so talented, that are kind of hiding their light under a bushel basket. So we're trying to say, come out and join us. You'll love it. And we don't just need actors and actresses. We need people who zip zippers. We need people who tie bows. We need makeup people. We need, if you can sew a seam, oh, you're what we need. So my information and Playwerks information will come up on the screen later. Please contact us. And I wanted to tell everyone, our next meeting is the 18th of February. Please come, please come. It's at St. Bernard's Catholic Church Parish Hall, 6:30. Come by. There's not going to be a huge room full of people. There's just going to be us. It's an intimate group right now. But come on in and join us and see what's going on.
You said you were needing some people to help. Not just actors, because a lot of times people will say, I don't want to be on stage. I'm afraid of being on stage. But there's probably just as many, if not more, people backstage than there are on stage.
It looks like a little ant farm backstage sometimes, depending on the play. But everyone is so busy, and gosh, some of those people that have been backstage in the past have saved the play. Costume malfunction, we've had dozens. Somebody forgets a line, and then there's somebody up there holding your script saying, here it is, here's your line, say this, get out. And we have developed friendships like this one.
Yes.
We have developed friendships.
Yes.
And I was lucky enough to be able to get to know Mike's wife, Sharon, and she is a mess, and she needs to come join us in our group. She won't be on stage, she'll be backstage. So, but we can still use you all. Don't think that you're not qualified, because you are. You are.
You know, you did Nonsense, you said, at the
St. Bernard's.
But also you took your show on the road, literally.
We did. We took it to my hometown in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, yes, and went to the Sahara Center and did our play there. That was a little trying, because that was my hometown. All of those people knew me. And so being Reverend Mother in the whole thing, it was a stretch. It was a stretch
because
for
they
some
knew
people.
you.
Yeah, because they knew me. And it was fun. Oh my gosh, it was fun. That the applause is so addicting. You know, Mike has been on stage several times. Mike knows what I'm talking about. It is so addictive. You just can't get enough applause and laughs. I love the laughs. So yes, please come join us, please.
Speaking of laughs,
Yes.
your next show coming up is a comedy
It's
called
going-
Knickers.
It's Knickers. It's a brief comedy. So you'll have to come.
All pun intended.
Yeah, all. It is so funny, and it's by a new playwright, and I'm sorry I don't have the information right now, but we will be casting that. We'll be thinking about who we want to do what role on the 18th. So if you're interested, it's basically for women of all ages, and all body types, anybody that wants to be involved can be involved in this one. It's so funny, it's so very funny. It's about a town that goes belly up because the paper mill has closed, and all of the men are sitting around town with their faces in their hands, and woe be unto them, and it's up to the women, I hate to say it, strong women, that saves the town. They save the town. And I'm not going to tell you how. You'll have to come see.
That's right.
But it's funny. Funny.
We're looking for people. We're also looking for a home. And that's one of the things that Village Players had a problem with is
We did.
finding a place that they could call home.
We needed a home, and we need one still. We use Reardon Hall when we can, but Reardon is being our only performance area in the village. They're a little full all the time, and St. Bernard's. Let me say this: St. Bernard's has been so gracious, so giving, so anxious to help. And they have been wonderful to us by letting us use their space for rehearsal, for meetings, and for performance. We had 300 tickets sold for none cents, and almost that many for Murder at the Banquet. We need a space. So anyone having any knowledge about anyone that would like to give us or let us borrow a space. Like I said, if you sell 300 tickets, that's 300 people. So we need a larger space. Reardon, wonderful size, wonderful venue, but they just are not available to us all the time. They have so much there.
So people can get a hold of you.
Yes, please.
Through your phone number.
Right.
They can phone or text you.
Either one.
Either one. They can send some information to you
Right.
so that if they're interested, or where can they meet, or maybe some suggestions of where the Playwerks organization can hold shows. Also, you have an email address. It's Debbie Reynolds 1025 @gmail.com.
That's it. That was exactly it.
So that people can let them know if they're interested, or ask for more information as well.
And they can check out our Facebook page. We have a Facebook page.
Facebook page.
And that's where we will always have notifications about meetings, performances, rehearsal schedules, anything about what's happening with Playwerks is going to be on our Facebook page. So definitely.
The 18th at St. Bernard's.
Please, 6:30.
6:30.
Right.
Come one,
right.
come all.
Please, come on, come all.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, Debbie, and
Thank
giving
you,
us the
Mike.
word about Playwerks, and we're
yes.
looking forward to the next show.
And you guys are wonderful, by the way. I really enjoy this show. I'm so glad they do this show.
She's working us. I think she's trying to find a part for us.
I think so, Well, and we understand that because Bella Vista Community Television is volunteer oriented also.
We have plenty of need for lots of people behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yes, we have. If you want to learn how to run sound, run camera, we can definitely help you find your spot here. So, well, we come to the end of another great show.
Yes, great guests, great information.
And I want to say that you are very good at what you do.
You're fabulous.
They ought to give you at least a 10% raise.
Well, they should give me something.
But we enjoyed having you all watch us today, and we are coming to the end of it, so we welcome you to watch this on YouTube and then catch it on Cox and AT&T UVerse.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.